Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. I hope you're all well. It's bloody cold this morning. I keep moaning. I'll stop moaning in a day or two, but they'll be all right. Fantastic day with the warrior teachers yesterday. Oh my, how glorious. Really good stuff at the moment. There's lots going on to discuss and lots of things happening that make it exciting. If you would like me to keep going, please do buy me a coffee or subscribe to my Substack, which would be really helpful. Or if you want to become a warrior teacher, we'll be starting again in 2025. Other than that, I want to talk about the law today. I fought the law and the law won. I want to talk about the law, okay? Something I've covered before. But you can see here on the screen already that what I want to discuss and bring to your attention is what's happening with barristers and their regulator, which is the Bar Standards Board, or the BSB, as it's known. And this is an article from the 19th of November by John Hyde about barristers rebel over regulators' planned duty to advance equality. This is about EDI and how it gets everywhere, or as I call it, DI. See, EDI originally was supposed to be equality of opportunity, diversity of thought, inclusivity in action. I.e., if you want to change the world, turn up. What we've ended up with is DI, diversity of immutable characteristics, inclusion in the in-group, and equity, or equality of outcome, which is dangerous. This is the Bar Standards Board messing with dangerous nonsense. So let's take a look and see what they've got and what they're up to. Practitioners' discontent over the bar regulator's plan to impose a positive duty to promote equality in the profession erupted into open rebellion yesterday. In a forthright response to the proposals, bar chair Sam Townend, KC, warned that the new duty would be counterproductive and probably unlawful. You can't get away from it, even in the legal profession here. These lunatics are everywhere. These equality, diversity and inclusion lunatics are everywhere. And I think they're a danger to our society because they are pushing equity and they are pushing equality of outcome, which is murderous. So in September, the Bar Standards Board proposed amending Duty 8 in the Bar Standards Board handbook, which says barristers must not discriminate unlawfully, with a new requirement to act in a way that advances equality, diversity and inclusion. That's really odd. Solicitors are already required to act in a way that encourages equality, diversity and inclusion. And the proposal attracted widespread criticism from the profession. In his response published yesterday, Townend said it is not clear how the measure is going to work or what it seeks to achieve. So it just sounds and smacks of a sort of virtue signaling, we're doing the right thing type thing, which we're seeing from many, many regulatory bodies. We need a public inquiry in order to get this EDI nonsense out of business or DIE nonsense out of business and out of every single organisation across the country. It's an utter danger to all of us. The Bar Council is deeply committed to supporting and improving equality, diversity and inclusion at the bar, said Townend. Why? Why don't you just worry about meritocracy? Yep, intelligence, talent. Why? Really? Honest to God. Excellence. How about that? Same as the warrior teachers. Worry about might, not EDI. And he continues, it is because of this commitment that we cannot support proposals for a new positive duty that lacks clarity, is probably unlawful and subject to challenge, impractical in implementation, and ultimately like to hinder progress on these issues. So this is, the way that's written is really interesting to me because obviously Townend is writing from within the profession itself and he has to deal with the Bar Council, but it's unbelievably appeasing, right? So the Bar Council is deeply committed to supporting and improving equality, blah, blah, blah. The Bar Council is busy replacing reality with the unreality of equity, is busy attempting to treat people by who they are and what they look like rather than whether they're capable or not. That's what they actually should say, but Townend can't say it, I imagine, because he has to appease. There's something terribly Chamberlain about all this, and it worries the hell out of me, where the Bar Standards Board should be under investigation in a public inquiry. That's what they should be under. They shouldn't even be doing it. What the hell are they doing? Now, with the Labour government we've got now, nothing is going to happen about this at all. But in fact, what we need to do is absolutely gut it. Now, in comes Trump, with a trumpety Trump. Trump's going to go for this stuff like you wouldn't believe. And I think we're going to see things happen in America that may well may well provide us with, in some cases, a kind of template by which we can attack this nonsense. That's what I'm hoping for. Townend suggested that if the BSB's proposals were enacted, they might be subject to legal challenge, which could become lengthy and costly distraction from the task of improving equality, diversity and inclusion across the profession. That's what they want. There are people who still don't get it. Townend probably does. It's designed to create, it's designed to create conflict. That's the job of these critical social justice lunatics. It is their job to create conflict in their absolute belief in bringing on a utopia where everybody gets along, And what we need is a great big melting pot, all that cobblers. That's all it is. An infection from a bunch of pissed off Trotskyists and hippies from the 1960s and 70s who now happen to be in positions of power and are dropping all this bullshit on younger people who don't know any better. That's what it is. So it shouldn't be a matter of, we're gonna talk to them about whether or not we should do it. We just shouldn't do it. I'll say it, Townend can't. That's what I imagine. Yep, that's what I imagine. He asked the BSB to rethink these proposals and work with the Bar Council and others to ensure an effective regulatory framework and the necessary guidance to help barristers comply. The BSB's consultation, which closes this month, states, "We believe it should be a core expectation of all practicing barristers that they demonstrate an appropriate commitment through practice to equality, diversity and inclusion." What that actually means is, we believe it should be a core expectation of all practicing barristers to support the insane beliefs of critical social justice muppets who are behaving in the same way as Joseph Stalin and Mao. How about that? Right? Because that's what they're talking about. When equality, diversity, inclusion includes the like of Ibram X. Kendi, that absolute lunatic who's utterly totalitarian. Or that insane woman Robin DiAngelo is another one. Right? Or Judith Butler. That's what they're doing. This is not a commitment to excellence in being a lawyer. This is a commitment to excellence in essentially a equity-driven state. Do you know what they call an equity-driven state? Communism. I sound like a tin hat nutter. I need to get a tin hat, I've decided. Get me a tin hat immediately. Who am I talking to? Oh, it's me. There's nobody here. Get me a tin hat. Nonsense, right? Nonsense. This will form the basis of our future regulatory action in this area and be central to achieving behaviour and culture change across the profession. You will do this, or we will sick the regulator on you. That's what they're saying. The regulator also wants to look again at rules which stipulate that chambers and entities have at least an equality and diversity officer and a diversity data officer. We will put our moles in your law firm. We will put in our law firm the people that will enforce the regulation that will mean that you must take the political stance of either the hard left or the hard right and their identitarian lunacy. We will ensure that we will put people in your organisation that will absolutely screw with everything that makes the West great. That's what it means. They're all, having coffee and going, well, I don't think it's a good idea. It's not just not a good idea. If we had the right kind of government in power, there would be an absolute investigation, and we could do with Doge, innit? Doge. That's what Trump's calling it, Doge, Department of Government Expenses or something, or government wastage. Get them out, get them going in an organisation, saying, we're coming, and if you're pushing this, we're going to fire you, and if you're supporting it, we're going to fire you. That's how you do it. There's no other way to do it. Somebody else tell me another way, because I don't know of any other way to do it. You just simply reject it, full stop. Full stop. And it isn't going to stop until people do, until individual people like, your good self and other people say, really, I've had enough of this. And that's hard to do because often it will cost you your living. Not a good idea at all. Got to keep yourself safe, otherwise you can't stay in the fight. Right? So to repeat that, the BSB says this role is in practice often delegated to a junior member of chambers from a minority group, and that senior members may be avoiding engaging directly with EDI issues. It's literally, we are going to force you to do this whether you want to or not. Everybody knows it's wrong, but the Bar Council is captured by a group of hard political nutters. That's what's going on. The Bar Council said that rather than abolishing the requirement to appoint these officers, the BSB should bring in measures to reinforce and enhance the diversity officer role. You will have our enforcement team in your law firm. Townend added, equality and diversity officers in chambers perform a vital role in chambers. They don't. As experts and champions in this arena, they don't. There are no experts in this arena. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's entirely and wholly ideological. It would be a real mistake for the role to be abolished. In the absence of an EDO, there is a real risk that nothing will happen. Good! For the love of God. Run! That's what I say to companies that are doing this. Run! Or you could do a Jaguar and come up with a bunch of blokes farting around in dresses. that will damn one of the greatest names ever in the automotive industry to irrelevance. Do it. Go woke, go broke. But this is the real stuff that will start affecting clients, people that they're supposed to protect in the law. This is the stuff that will do that. It's absolutely surreal. But it's, let's hope the barristers have got their firm nuts in place and off they go and have a go at these people. End it. End it. Start a different standards board. Start a new board. Ignore this lot. Start your own. That's what I say. Parallel organisations may be the only way to go to stop this kind of nonsense. But there you go. You've got that to have a look at. I've got the links in the doobras as usual. Thank you very much for listening to my baffle gab, and I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.